My name is Ramute Moye. I am a doctor of agricultural science. I am alternative medicine consultant. Also, I am integrative nutrition coach. I was born in Lithuania. My family was survivors, included me, World War II. And my history is similar. Like today, we do have all events in Ukraine, Israel. That's how I was born. 7 months old, we have pandemic. I was under the ground. And of course, I almost was dying. 99% in this village, the children was dead. For some reason, I still alive. Yeah, was 7 months old. After that, because the 1944 and the war and Nazis came, they were looking for Jewish people, because in the country, mostly business or owners was Jewish. Background was Jewish, but was all kind of, was Russian Jewish, Lithuanian Jewish, because Jewish also have background. Yeah. And we had in our house also one girl we were hiding, but we did not find for that. But what happened by this time, when they found all these Jewish persons, we have 3 places in Lithuania. Where all these people took in some cars or they had to walk. They gave shovels to them, and they have to dig that canal. And after the canal was ready around like this one, they have to stay in the edge of the canal and they will shoot. It was June 7th. It was like a bloody Sunday in Lithuania. It was in 3 places. That's how it happened. Bulldozer was, covered with soil, but some people, some was shot right away, some was not, some, and this surface was, moving like for blood months and months. That how was the situation. Imagine like this situation, what kind of life you can have it. So many houses was burned, and some was left, because when Jewish people were leaving Lithuania, they left the houses. My parents took some empty house, because our house was burned, and after we lived in some house for a long time. What happened after that? Russians came. When Russians came, they made a list of people who was educated and who had some privacy. If you have a land, if you have a business, they all was packed in rail trains and was taken to Siberia. 500,000 people, 500,000, was taken to Siberia. My mother's sister was an aunt. She had 30 hectares of land. And of course, she was rich. How I was thinking, 30 hectares, what? This is just piece of land. Yeah, she was their family was at 10 years. Yeah. And by this time, what happened in Lithuania, because some was dead during the war, some was taken in Siberia, and what left population was they have no properties, they have no education, just was very poor, poor space. And, and I was growing up, I all the time was thinking, how we going to live right now, because we have no food, we have no equipment, we have, nothing is but we were living. And I had tuberculosis when I was 14 years because that's how we have no food, nothing. After I had gallbladder infection and all these things, I was thinking how we can make, what we have to do in our country. I was a little girl, but I all the time was thinking how we can make this in our country when we have a food. Main thing was how we can, I became agronomist. And always each one part of my life is have some stories. If somebody would like to take my stories, it would be so interesting. But that's what happened. I became agronomist. I worked but I had this blessing, if I can tell, because after I was so sickly all the time, because that's how I would grow up. After this, I was working with a dissertation, and after law came, when all thesis dissertations supposed to be translated in the Russian language. Imagine, I have ready to introduce my dissertation, and I have to translate everything. Imagine, I was working 4 years, all these things again, how was stressed, how everything was to get everything. So that took for me another 4 months, to make all these things happen. They have to translate. It's not so easy. I was speaking because Russian was second language. I was speaking Russian, but like professor says, okay, Ramute, yeah, you have all this, here, what are what are you doing here? But your Russian is not good in my writing. Yeah, to some degree, because writing a book, you have to, it's just must be perfect. Okay, we made all the things, this one, and I got this doctor's degrees, and that's all the time was thinking, okay, my dissertation also was how to make a, higher, we have more production. If we have more production, and also we were using all technology, herbicides, pesticides, everything that's how we were doing. That's how taught us in university, in school. That's how I became. Finally, what's happened when I had this also, I can tell this something story about how I became a manager of in one county, huge. By this time I was graduate university, and at this we had a graduation party in some restaurant, and of course I was just 25 years old, and came from Lithuania's ministry, agriculture ministry, three guys. They were looking for for who can just work in some counties as an agronomist, like a manage all, this area, like DuPage County. That's how I was working in one county, in Lithuania. But how happened? I was just agronomist. I worked in some farming, and after this graduation, my director said, "Oh, you have to call to Ministry of Agriculture." In the village, I just just go working. How am I gonna get? I even have no idea how to get to capital in Lithuania. But I had a dream all the time. I want to be if I'm going to be 25 years, I can be independent. In my mind, I always have some power. Then I says, okay, I can do something. Somebody can listen to me. When just young, no one's listening to you. But I was thinking, well, now somebody's going to listen to me. Imagine. But at this party, of course, I did a speech, because we had like this, when you have a party, you have a say toast, and each one saying toast. That's how tradition is in Lithuania. Other one is say, something, whatever you can do. Of course, I did it. But after all this discussion, after this party, these guys were sitting with chairwoman, chairman, they were discussion about all people, which one they can accept to invite in ministry and that give us some work. Okay, I have no idea what they guys were talking, but I know the father told me, he says, what about this girl who was speaking? I said, oh, he was executive director of some farm. He said, this one can make living on the stone, on a rock. This one woman can make living on a rock. How this came, I have no idea. Because, so many years when we were studying, we have communication with friends, and, so many years for studies, all kinds of things happens, events and everything. Okay, third day after graduation, when I have, not me, but my director had a call from ministry. We want this woman to come in Vilnius, in Lithuanian capital agriculture ministry. Okay, wow. I have to think how to get here. I have no idea, because this wasn't, by this time also was, it was train and buses was running, nothing more. We didn't have a cars, nothing. Okay. Oh yeah, okay, I came here. Of course, they gave it to me 3 locations: south, very far north, another was like in the middle. And I was thinking, okay, where my parents live, not so far. I says, okay, I'm gonna try this location. And that's when my work started. I came, like young, and to manage all this. Of course, it took 3 months for me to do all this, how I can make all these things going. Yeah, of course, it took up for me, so much to think, being young and have no experience. This was not fun. But I made it after 3 months, after I even have no idea, after 3 months, from the research center came, says, okay, you have to fill this application, and you're gonna go to our director to Vilnius. Let's say accept you as a permanent. And I worked here 20 years. They kept me for 20 years, and I had, all kind of experience. I was very tough woman, or young but tough. All how to use these chemicals, how to do things you must do. You have to, it's just imagine. And they poisoned myself, because I was checking, all this storages with chemicals, how we use chemicals. No one was telling was told us when this is poison. I poisoned, I had to go in the hospital, and my goodness, it was such a another, imagine another, how to, you have to go away with, take your poison, how adapted. And I came in a hospital because I worked for the government, I was listed, and I had privilege, if I came to a hospital, they have to take you, right away, and to give, it was good for that. It was very, of course, I had some, nice things what I can use, but what happened, he was a department doctor of gastro department. He said, he checked me, he said, you know what? Wow, you have some energy, you have such energy. But you know what I promise to you? You're going to get the best treatment whatever we have, have in our hospital, but you need different way. Told me. It's fine. He says, you're agronomist, you're working with plants, you have energy, you have to, medicine is not your lifestyle. Okay. They took me in a room. It was 1 week here. They gave all this medicine. Well, Dr. Lady was very nice. When I was going out, they said, I'm prescribing you 6 medication. This is for your rest of your life. if you're not going to take this medication, I'm not guaranteeing how long you're going to live, because the poison was very bad. Okay. All right, I came home, by this time I was married, I had one son was, I got what I'm going to do. I took my mother had her book, it's very, old. I just went to all this and just thinking what I have symptoms, what feelings I do have, and how I can something to do different with it. Okay, I was trying all this new treatments, myself, teas, all kind of things. And yeah, I getting better, getting better. And life is going. And I, of course, did not use all this medication. I was doing everything myself, or I can, new things. And by the time it came, long stories, and I was transforming in Institute of Horticulture after I got PhD, because there was no benefit to work for me, in this like agronomist, like manager. It was no benefit for me because I have to do researches, I have to do speeches, something to do to help people to how to grow, how to do what is low different level. And after that, I was first woman in Lithuania who introduced organic gardening program.
Wow.
Because the institute was low on budget. I says, okay, I'm gonna just think about, because I had all these chemicals. I was before this time, because was when in Soviet Union we couldn't use literature from another country, so you couldn't think about America. That was, my God, you cannot talk, open your mouth about that. It's because it was just bad things. Yeah, it was everything prohibited, and I had not so much. I need more literature, more something, opinions. I have no idea how to make this program, because I wanted just to do. Okay, and I made this program, introducing also in Lithuania Ministry of Agriculture. They accept this program. I gave him money to institute, and after presentation, some lady came to me. She was professor in Institute of was Academy of Lithuania, and she said, "You know what? How you have this courage to do all these things? God, imagine this is, they accept this program." We said we were in university. We were thinking how to have, who can just start to do these things. He says, how you have this, strength to introduce this. He says, we're going to you. I would like to, if you just come in university, we're going to talk about. We're going to send you to Switzerland, because in Switzerland they have all this organic and all kind of nicely, spiritual things, how you're working, how we're doing. Okay, and after that, okay, I started to, to meet with them, and it's not so easy. All things I'm working, my family, all these things. How are you gonna go in Switzerland? How, it's, you have to, if you go, you have to something. Where you go? How are you gonna? Who is gonna meet you? How? And I also met some old lady. Says, just you go to United States. They have a Rodale Institute. She knew. She was so bright woman. She says, you can just. I says, how are we gonna go here? Right? How? Okay, all right. I just have to think about it. I read about all these things. So it says, I found out. Okay, I asked, what path is, how I can go, you cannot go like that. You have to have, visa, you have to, it's not so simple things. That, okay, and I found out how I can, says you have to go in the American embassy to ask for a visa, and okay, I made appointment and meet here, and it was, it was also funny thing. I came, was snow in raining. All the thing is, I came is, always dripping and came is full room, like here is, is 3 times, this room, so many people, lines of people, were, going to the window where is sitting an ambassador. I think Crow is going, all these lines was almost done. But I sat in first one, like, sitting, I'm just sat here with my, like this one, never do like this one. For me, it seems like not proper, to do. But I was sitting in first line because it was only first line was empty. When I came, other via was empty, for sitting people was waiting for visas, I was sitting here and I was not worried, not thinking. I was not thinking how, I don't know what I'm going to say, how it's going to be. Okay, after time came, I came to the window, say hello. I says I would like to go to to get some experience, to exchange my scientist work. And by this time I did not understand why he was asking, what your husband going to do if you're going to leave? See, I was, you see, in Europe, in our country, like this relationship in family and between wife and husband is a little different. You hiding seems like you are, it's everything is not so open. Like in United States, you're talking about all this relationship very open. I said, my daughter is here, she's gonna take care. All right, he says, I showed the pictures of my children, everything. He says, how long you want to be? I have no idea how it's gonna work. I says, at least 1 year. Oh, okay. He says, okay, come 4 o'clock. I came 4 o'clock, I got the visa.
Nice.
That's how it happened. Me, and that's what came in the United States. And first time I came back in Lithuania by this time. I got in Rodel Institute, got information, wrote one small book about the soil, how it's getting, it's in Lithuanian language, of course. And I was thinking, maybe I still have a visa. Maybe I can go back. Right now, I know people here, some. And I'm going to try. And that's what happened. I came second time. And after I met some from Long Island, Lithuanian background, some rich guy. He said, don't go back. You have all you're going to get all documents here. Why he says, America is opportunity country. Why are you going to go? He says, you're going to do biggest mistake if you're going to go back. I says, but right now, soon my visa going to expire. What am I going to do? He says, don't worry. You're going to get something. Yeah. That's how it happened. And after, of course, took for me a long time until I got permanent residency because it's 9/11. And I had to stay. I got my authorization. I had Social Security, but I couldn't leave the country. It was the hardest time for me to in the United States, of course, my language, I was speaking few sentences in English. It was, I could do so much, when I came, but I was feeling how I can feel, to feed my family because I left from children and my sick husband. And I just took a medical assistant courses, and I worked in nursing homes and rehabilitations, all kind of, that's why I had to start my doctor degrees, is not so expanded.
Yeah.
Of course, that's who knows. But because I had always experienced all disease, when I saw in the nursing homes how people are treating, how much medication we do have, how everyone is and I took all alternative medicine, fitness nutrition, and finally this one, what I do right now have, this is, everything was put it together for me. You know, integrative nutrition coach, imagine everything from A to, you know, to Z.
Mhm.
Everything was like my life, you know, all stages.
Mhm.
And I decided to write a book about that. And I made a little bit some statistics, how we doing in this extraordinary country, rich country. And it seems like we have to go back a little bit, because like right now, what we have with disease, our heart disease is main thing right now. Can you believe every 40 seconds, someone in the United States dying from heart disease?
Mhm.
Seconds, 40 seconds. All kinds of things, how much cost money for families, how much it's fourth is from disease, all disease is heart disease, fourth, from 1 to 4 heart diseases. Okay, our second, what we have, diabetes. Every year, diabetes going up and up and up. 37% of population have diabetes. What the cost? Diabetes cost blindness, to take your
Amputation.
amputation. Imagine another all your life is, if you have diabetes, you're not going to live same like everyone, because you cannot, use same food, you cannot use same medication. It's everything is so hard. It's so hard for everyone. And this is not stopping. Another all kind of what kind of disease we are, all kind of diseases going, not with increasing. Right now we have very unusual things when we thought, when we're going to have technologies, we have technologies. Right now, what happened, mental disease, main thing right now became as a technology. Because when we listen on your phone, what we do have, this is affect your brain. And never ever, if you have a phone, you just do speaker, not to use your. That's how it is. All kind of whatever we do have in the bedroom, no TV. If you have in the bedroom TV, remember, it's now you cannot heal yourself, because whatever all this you have all this spectrum affect your health. It's all kind of things happen right now, and now researchers have, but such a big deal became technology.
Yeah.
We have to think about that when we have to. We need technology. We cannot go back without technology, because that's how it's going. But we have to use very clever. We cannot just be against ourselves, because if you're gonna just be 6 hours in front of TV, if you're gonna be on talk all the time like this one with your phone, do you want something to do after that? Because you're out of your energy. But electricity energy is taking your own energy. And you losing your own energy, you become so weak. And all these things happen because that's how this world right now is based. Right now, new things after it happened, pandemic, COVID-19. Antibiotics. All antibiotics is direct. So some disease direct must be. More you take an antibiotic, more you giving, you feel you're numb, your bodies become numb. Imagine they killed all bacteria, but included good ones. When the antibiotics kills your good one bacteria and you become anti with goodness, how you going to stand up? You cannot stand up. You cannot think, because all these things going into your brain is also caused mental disease. What we're talking about the food, main thing is sugar. By researchers, or we have can have a woman can have 6 tablespoons of sugar per day, man 9. Americans consuming 17 spoons of sugar every day. Do you use or not? But is I'm counting with you too. Okay, and sugar is overdue everywhere. Bread, even tomato sauce has 3 times more sugar is supposed to be. Everywhere is sugar. We have to think about that, and how we're using with all this products. I'm going to talk about, a little bit about the diet or something. Everywhere sugar. What I was okay. Another thing is I talk about sugar. We have to think like a Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola have 17 spoons of sugar. Is it tasty? But I'm meeting people in my, coming. I have a client who is working. I'm working with, for so many years. If somebody using 8 or 5 or 6 barrels or cans of Coca-Cola. Imagine you're sugary. If you're sugary, how your body's going to adapt nice things? No, it's going in the brain, and you became sugary, and that's how happened. What we are sugary. There's all kind of things we have, but Coca-Cola is very good to clean the toilets. Number 1, to kill all this bacteria, just perfect. Another thing is medicine. If you have acid reflux, 3 times a day, you just a little bit like this one. You just sip 2-3 sips during the day. You're gonna clean your arteries, your vein.
2 or 3 sips of Coca-Cola?
Yeah. Imagine, Coca-Cola was made as a medicine.
Oh.
And they have a special secret. What is ingredient here? I don't know if somebody knows that, but who is started, they knew what is a secret. But if you use like a medicine, is perfect. You can use this and try, and you're gonna clean, if you need to clean, for the heart disease, your arteries. My friend is using, she says, oh, I feel much better. Imagine. Yeah, but you cannot overdo. But if you want just to buy more, just clean your kitchen sink, you clean your
pennies.
yeah, you just leaves, it's perfect. You can just do this, it helps you, it's gonna be, because it's, I'm using this, I'm gonna tell you a secret, I'm using in my garden. I have some solution I'm making Coca-Cola, beer, soap, the dish soap, and teeth, when you rinsing teeth,
Mouthwash.
mouthwash, yeah, always put in the water. And I 3 times in a season, I spraying no one's know why all this veg is going. But this is not chemicals,
Mhm.
just because I'm using all, because in the beer we have yeast, and Coca-Cola we have this ingredient, because in the water, and so happy. I have organic gardening, and they're so happy. The plants say hello to me because they're happy. Yeah, that's how it is. I very think you have to know how to use all these things. Yeah, but we have so big problems for that. That's why I wasn't. I want all work together, all these things. How to make to people, when we can use all this. See, we have a 99% of our power to heal yourself. If we're gonna use the right food, if you're going to use, to think, if we, all this together is you can do things. I just gonna go a little bit, if you let me how just to do very simple things to get yourself on a train, to get, yeah. I'm gonna open, just, if I'm gonna talk long, talk is gonna be, see what I have here. Yeah, let's see what we have. Okay, I was talking about antibiotics, yeah. But number one is how we have to create this plan for ourselves to get ourselves, if we can heal ourselves. Is number one is self-love. Self-love doesn't mean when you have to be so selfish. If you want a big house, if you want just so much ice cream, if you want everything. No, self is not selfishness. Self-love, when you created yourself, you clean your body. And you clean your body, your mind is what? You have to love, your energy must be clean.
Mm.
Your energy. All this point is in my book. It's like a 10 commandment, a book. What is? Oh, it's here. Yeah. Yeah. See. All this here. Other here is all this how we can do. If I talk about the diet, there's no diet for everyone. No, we don't have a diet. I was taking courses about the diets, dietitian, and exercise. Because why not? Because we are all different. Why we are different? We are different because our life started when sperm was fertilized by egg. No one was telling about, no doctors, no teachers was telling about that.
Mm-hmm.
By this act, you started your life, and this was what mood you were, for what person was, how was personal. Are you were made by love? Are you accidentally? Or you, who knows? It's all kind of, when we born, you don't know, how it is. But this affects that's how it is. Each one, we have to have your personal diet. Because for one, you cannot have milk or dairy product. Another is sensitive for another, if you have some disease from inherit your parents, you might have some special, you cannot just, you cannot use, and you have, like veins or something, or some now we're talking about cancer also is in genes, who knows? But each one we have to think what our bodies can accept. What our bodies can accept. If we're gonna find out what we can feel good, that's what we have to use. We cannot, you can try all kinds of things, but main things is about the diet. Is you have the protein, number one. If you don't have protein, how you gonna, when you build your house, you have to have, foundation, and that's why we need foundation, is a protein. Okay, that's about it. Of course, if you protein only, they're not going to work for you because you need also a little bit sugar, of course, all kind of, all this, another, that's a second is you have to use all veggies. Okay, if I can just talk in my book, it's recipes, we can have what kind of, how you just can use all these things. Yeah, you can find here. But if you, another time, if you would like some special, I can just do, topics about remedies or kind of things, That's what how it is, or it's about the food. Okay, main thing is about yourself, love, how you have to prepare all these things, how you have to start it. You have to have a clean energy. If you don't have a clean energy, it's not going to work. If you don't have it, if you're thinking, oh, he is dummy or he is jerk, something, it's not going to work. It's not working for you, but you're not thinking about that. You have to start it to positive thinking. Is number one, positive thinking. And the positive thinking, you have to do homework. You have to, like, if this is, you have to do all your life if you want to just go forward. You want to go forward because you're going to get this energy. This everything goes just automatically goes, because you're going to have a message when you have to do this. You're going to have intuition, how to things to do. Yeah, that's right. And I just, few sentences tell what you can start before you go in bed in the morning to do talk about yourself. You have to, think, or you have, for example, I am abundant. I am all. I am harmonious. I am perfect. I am strong. I am loving. I am powerful. It's just you have to find all of it. You can go is on YouTube. Is so many about affirmations to do, but you have to train yourself. If you're not going to work with yourself, who is going? There's no one telling about all these things. We always, busy. We always mad at something. We always something happened, and we have to think. We have to think about ourselves. We are best. Everything okay. I have everything. I loving. Mostly everything in this world. First one came from love. If we're not spreading love, if we're not loving ourselves, nothing's working. It's nothing working. If you're so mad, if you just all the time thinking that something is fault, somebody's something doing for you bad, no, you're doing for yourself. If there's something happened, seems like you did something. If I became so poisoned, because I went in this place when I was supposed to go. But you need that knowledge. Of course, you need knowledge, you need education, you need all this kind of thing. Another thing is, in this, we have to be grounded. If you're not grounded on the earth, see, if I'm not going to ground it, I cannot, how I going to stand up? Because the earth has a magnet. They are touching us. And we have to be connected with cosmos. If we don't have this connection, we're not going to work. how are we gonna walk? If how I can how we walk? When I do this, yoga exercise when go some presentations, oh, how old you are? Yeah, we have energy, spirituality is no matter what religion you are. This is not religion. No matter what religion you are, you have to be spiritual. You want to call God? Do you want to go? Or all kind of we have a religion in the world. It's no matter. You can call whoever you belong, whoever you want to, but number one, universe is a one thing for everyone. For everyone is universe, and we have to be connected. For this we have to do meditation. Why we have to do meditation every day? We have to be disconnected from all around what's happened. We have to connect with ourselves. You just close your eyes and no, absolutely, you disconnect from everything. Just be empty and quiet. And after, you can just, like I do, because I have a second degree of energy healing, I do sutras. For me, it's every morning. That's how my routine is coming. That's, yeah. But, if you started to do meditation, and you were going to become like, in you have to hear your heart, how you are feeling. Are you okay with what you have? And you have to know what you want. If you're not doing things, you're not working whatever you love, you're not going to be successful. You're not going to be happy. In all your life, you have to think, oh, can I take this one? Is one going to be okay or not? You have to think, you have to choose. We have a choice. Like universe or God gave it to us only for the humans choice. Give a choice. Is it negative or positive? If you go positive, okay, you're gonna go a long time. With negativity, you can go in the middle, but you're not going to have it so far. It's because everything goes against you. Yeah, that's how it's working. Yeah. Yeah, so many things I can just talk, and some is in a book, but if in case someone would like to work, if I can help with help, I can help with my card here. I have clients but right now I still have in the house because it was pandemic. We'll see what's now. I have to do promote my book number one, but right now is yes. I want to just read what I ending my presentation. Yes, life is tough, but you are tougher. Find the strength in your heart to make others smile. Living simply, love generously, speak truthfully, work diligently, and never ever give up.